Buenos noches. Today is February 8th, 2023. It is Wednesday evening, and we have had such a relaxing day. No, not really. Started the day in our lovely apartment, and we... Yes, in Keycocker, thank you. Kind of took the morning at a nice, easy pace. We were in bed pretty early last night. Surprise. So I woke up naturally at like 6:30. I don't know about the rest of everybody else. But got up and kind of packed our things a little bit, and then we went to breakfast at La Cubana. Real shock that we chose that again. Yeah, I had breakfast right next to the water. That was nice. Then we headed back to the cart rental establishment and rented a cart for a couple of hours. Decided to go back to that same place on the south side of the island. Looked at some more birds. I think Jordan found a few more. That was kind of cool. Got some better pictures of ones we saw
Andrew
the day
took
before.
some pictures.
I did take a stab at the camera, but my skin had pretty much had it with the sun for the last 24 hours. So eventually just hid under the golf cart roof for a while. We then sauntered over to the airport runway, thank you, and planned to watch some planes come in and fly out with our remaining time with the cart, and I timed that perfectly because nothing came for about an hour. But there were like 3 planes due to come in and out about 10 minutes after we left, so that was cool. Then we went back to our apartment and cleaned up the rest of our stuff, packed up, got our things, took the keys back to Maria, who lives in a house right on the front street there. I don't know what that street's even called, but she's kind of close to the water in a house in a very similar style to the apartment that I will flash pictures of again, just so you can see how lovely it really was. And then we got on the boat to San Pedro, which was like 20 minutes late. Met some people from Montana who were here for a month. I think they're living on San Pedro while they're here the entire time, but they had ventured over to Keycocker this morning and were already taking the noon boat back, so I don't really know what that's about, but I guess the morning was enough for them. So we got on the boat, sat on the back, which was kind of fun. I wanted a breeze. Jordan put on his coat, I put on my long sleeve tee so I wouldn't, toast my skin any more than it already was. At one point, Grandpa had his collar on his polo up because I guess he got cold. I don't know. And then he wore his captain hat backwards, so it looked really gangster there for a minute. That was pretty funny. It was something out of the 80s, honestly. So yeah, then we got to San Pedro and took a very luxurious taxi across the island to the international dock, and then ate some plantain chips. Yeah, we met. The taxi driver's name was Randy.
Barahona.
How do you say his last name?
Barahona.
Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt that. Super nice kid. He's probably like 35. But
Yeah,
yeah, he wants that Sienna, baby. It was like a 95 Sienna.
That Sienna has seen some things.
And he said at one point it was amphibious, so I feel like there's a story behind that.
I think that means
it's a Katrina car.
It's a Katrina car. I'm offended that you tried to sell me a Katrina car.
A hurricane.
Yeah. So that thing literally is held together by God's grace. I don't understand. Every single light on the dash was lit up. I hope that the video I took has a still of that hidden in it somewhere. If so, I'll try and flash that. Oh. I can't believe the radio worked, but it did.
It did.
But literally, there were like 4 or 5 new car scent trees hung from the mirror, and they were fresh because that's all I could smell, despite the fact that it should probably have smelled like in that car.
Yikes.
It did not smell good in the car without the air fresheners. Went to the international dock, had some chips, chilled out for a little bit. Quickly realized we were going to get on the boat with some really interesting characters, and this is the boat trip to Curacao, which is about
big boy.
2 hours. Yeah, it's a big boy trip in not a very big boy boat.
Thunderbolt.
The Thunderbolt, and that might be the last time Andrew rides the Thunderbolt, to be perfectly honest. But the choppiness was bad, but that doesn't really bother me. Like the front of the whole smashing after waves, it's the balance issue.
Yeah.
And Jordan was right. He pointed it out, and I noticed it too. I just didn't say anything. Was for the first 70% of that trip, it was horribly leaning towards the left,
Yeah.
to the point where it was kind of sketchy at some parts, just because it was like, okay, are we gonna like topple this thing over? The weight distribution was totally screwed up. Did the boat ride again. I think that's the last time I'm willing to get on that boat.
We were blessed to be able to sit in the very front for the second time on that one.
Yeah, Jordan got to sit side bench. That's a big privilege, but to be fair, I told him this. We randomly selected first pick on
thing
seats.
is,
So
Before we got on the boat, Andrew and I were discussing how that was probably the worst seat on the boat.
yeah, it's
And
true.
it just so happened that that's where I ended
That's
up
what.
again.
Well, you weren't in the worst. Paul was in the worst, but that was only the worst
On the first
first trip because
Yeah.
there was water dripping from rainfall. Jordan had the worst
Stand up and look.
because Paul could stand up and look, and Paul's face wasn't 100% in the sun. I don't
Yeah.
think. Jordan's was 100% in the sun.
Yeah.
Plus, he got to chat it up with some really
Colorful people.
colorful
from
gals
Seattle.
from Seattle. God bless Seattle. Always just churning out wonderful people. And then we got on the dock and got our bags, walked back home. Grandma had dinner kind of ready, so we had some chimole and some melon papayas. Wow, shows how much I know. I just ate it. I thought it was like a weird combination of carrot and watermelon. That's how I would describe a papaya. now.
Rare carrot melon.
Yeah, it's the vibe it gave. It was like watermelon texture, but it tasted like a carrot. I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm not gonna not eat it. So, yeah. So then we kind of took our things upstairs and made our beds because we have all new linens now, fresh linens. Took showers. Now we're chilling out on the deck. We finished a very good crossword that we gave 5 stars. Just an improvement because we've had about 4 in a row that were 0. Anything else you guys would like to add about today? Somewhere out on that bay, our souls rest.
Yeah,
I lost my soul on that boat ride today.
the islands were very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Got pretty well toasted.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be back in the mainland.
Let me show some of your lines.
Well, you can see, well, this is from me putting my arm there, but my knees are
Yeah.
pretty...
There you go.
That's I mean...
And then pull your bangs up.
Okay, well, that's just permanent. That's always there. So,
He'll be nice and brown when he gets back.
nice and brown.
Is that all you had to add?
That's all.
Okay.
I'm just happy to be back on the mainland.
Anything to add?
It's good to be back.
It's
A rat race on the islands, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff to look at. Lots of interesting people. Lots of Europeans. Having a good time. And lots of alcohol being consumed. At the split.
Yes.
For those of you that know where the split is.
a bit of a party.
But other than that, it was good. We had a plush location to sleep in.
Wow. I mean, location-wise, it gets pretty good
It was
stars.
a good location.
Yeah, right off the main road, right in the middle, pretty much, smack dab. But, yeah, we'll just talk about the good parts.
Yeah.
So location is the one and only thing on that list, I would say. And the shower did
shower
produce
was good.
warm water. But it creaked like a 400-year-old boat dock when you got into it. So anyways, good night, and we will see you on Thursday. See you on Thursday.
Try to catch up with my. Try to catch up with my. Try to catch up with my. Catch up with my. This surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw. It's slowing down time, changing all the laws. Try to catch it with my hands, so that I can take it home. Hoping I can keep it when I'm dead, when we're gone. Try to catch it with my.
There were like 5 Jew kids on this boat. Jewish children.
Why that sounded,
That
so
sounded bad.
derogatory.
Yeah, that was not good.
Kids.
They had their little yarmulkes on and they were loud and annoying on the dock. But thankfully, all of them fell asleep on this ride. Praise the good Lord.